Hey everyone, we're back this week with more PS Vita homebrew. Again, this is a continuation of the last couple of weeks with the ReiHEN games. Today we have 7 new submissions from the competition. I'm not really sure if I'm going to get to everything, as some things in there are sort of not YouTube friendly. And now that the competition is over, and a winner will be selected in the coming weeks, I'm not sure how much value there is in me continuing to cover these games. But if you are still interested, just leave a comment letting me know. So the first game is Abyss. This is a game done by Balder, who is also known for the game Purified. This is an original game, probably made in Unity, and the first thing I want to say is, this game looks amazing. Definitely multiple steps above your average homebrew title. And not only does it look good, it plays good as well, as the frame rate is almost buttery smooth the entire way through. The music is awesome, and the sound design is very punchy. As far as gameplay goes though, it's not really that deep. The game is a third-person shooter of sorts, but you don't really do any actual aiming, as the entire combat system relies on an auto-lock mechanic, resulting in you just mostly spamming the square button and triangle once you get a sidearm, and pressing X to dodge whenever you can. I definitely would have loved to see something closer to Purified, but honestly still a really solid submission. The next project is Vita Sketch, which is really just an Etch-a-Sketch on your Vita. I think the concept is novel, it's cool that you can shake your Vita to erase, but as someone who had an Etch-a-Sketch as a kid, this brings back a bit of nostalgia, but it's not really something I would play with for more than 2 or 3 minutes. Our next original game is Gravity Hunters by Nanzor96. Coming into this game, I thought it was going to be more of like an arcade shoot-'em-up with gravity mechanics, but it's actually more of a physics puzzle game, which if you've seen my previous videos, you know they're not really my cup of tea. And sadly, this one's not really an exception, as movement and shooting for me is a little bit too slow because of the recharge mechanic. However, I do like how the physics of the planets interact with the bullets. If this was more of an arcade shoot-'em-up, with gravity that pulled your ship in, as well as the bullets, I would have a lot more fun with the game. As far as graphics goes, this game looks really good. It reminds me of something from the Flash era. Frame rate is solid, and so are the load times. This is definitely a game I could have seen in the PS Vita store. The next game is Stellar Shift by YGCG. Now, this game is more of a tech demo, and I'm sure even the author would agree, as it states so in the beginning. First of all, the graphics look really good, the character model is very detailed, and a bit not safe for work, which is not really my sort of thing. But if you're here for fan service, I think you would appreciate it. As far as gameplay goes, there's not really much here. You rotate some blocks, flip some switches, hit a couple of things, and I'm sure the dialogue would be funny to some people, but again, it's a little cheesy for me and not really my thing. All in all, there's a really solid foundation here, and this could really be something great. I'm hoping the author continues working on this and turns it into a really cool sci-fi dungeon crawler. The next we have Snowball Fight by XQSPX. This is a pixel art snowball fighting game, and honestly it reminds me of something that would have been on the Game Boy Color back in the day. The pixel art in the game looks really good, but that's sort of where my positives end for this one as well. The movement during combat is rather slow, and it's almost impossible to dodge most obstacles. When facing off with more than one enemy, it's really easy to be overwhelmed with snowballs rather quickly. And probably my biggest complaint is when you're in the shop, there's no description for the various items, so I don't really know what they do. There's definitely a solid foundation here, but I would just tone down the AI, maybe add a bit more depth to the combat by allowing the player to move forwards and backwards, or some other additional movement options, and most importantly, giving descriptions to the items in the shops. Then next we have El Invito, I believe that's how you say it, and this is by Soy Color. Sorry if I'm butchering your name. This game here is one of those full motion video choose your own adventure style games. You play the role of an angel, and you're trying to convince this man not to commit suicide. The game features a lot of humor, both light and dark. It's pretty well acted. I mean, I don't speak the actual language. I'm not sure if it's Spanish or Portuguese, but as someone who's just a loudmouth American who speaks nothing but English, from what I can tell, it was all pretty good and it made me laugh. Some of the jokes in there are a bit cheesy, but I think they land pretty well. My only real critique with this game is I wish there was a chapter select option that allowed me to move back to various decisions, rather than trying to replay the entire game. Then the last game is Flipper Volcano by Bren. Now this game here is a port, unlike all the other games here. This is a pinball game, where you're trying to escape the volcano, using the various flippers. The objective is to make it up to each chamber, while avoiding and breaking obstacles. As much as I enjoy pinball games, I've never been really good at them, except for maybe Sonic Spinball, so I didn't get that far in this game. Maybe to the 4th or 5th chamber. I would highly recommend this game for anyone who enjoys pinball. Just be prepared to lose a bit if you're not very good like me. Alright, that's all the games I'll be covering for this week. I'm going to do my best to be back again next week. I'm not really sure what the video is going to be. It might be more Vita stuff, or it might be something hand cannon related since the game does come out on Tuesday. We're just gonna have to see when we get there. Anyways, thanks for watching, and thanks for your time.